Can be hungry anytime they please. Maybe you messed up and didn't eat enough lunch. Perhaps dinner is very far away. It doesn't matter. Come to Arby's and solve your hunger problems with dollar sliders, cookies, small fries, drinks, and snack shakes, each for $1 from 2 to 5 p.m., not a.m. Arby's, we have the meats.
At participating Arby's for a limited time.
The bees are swarming to Barnett's Beehive Restaurant, North Post Road, Shelby. Owner Gary Barnett is a proud supporter of Cleveland County High School and Post 82 Shelby American Legion Baseball. Barnett's Beehive Restaurant is open Monday through Friday, 10 to 7 p.m., Saturday, 10 to 4. They're known for mouth-watering lunch special plates, breakfast all day, seafood plates, salads, sandwiches, 12 vegetable choices, desserts, and more. Stop in today. Barnett's Beehive Restaurant, North Post Road, Shelby. Phone 704-482-3746 for takeouts.
It's the most wonderful time of the year for some extra cash, and Basic Finance in Shelby can help. Basic Finance in Shelby is behind you with the money you need. Just call 704-481-0111 or drop by their office at 306 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, right across from Shelby High School. Yes, it's the most wonderful time of the year for some extra cash from Basic Finance Company. 306 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Remember, golf on Saturday, church on Sunday. Bill Shuford Heating and Air and American Standard presents the American Standard Set the Standard event. Now through November 30th, get up to $1,000 in discounts on qualifying American Standard equipment, or get 0% APR financing with 60 equal monthly payments, plus many more special Set the Standard event offers. See Bill Shuford Heating and Air for all the details. Bill Shuford Heating and Air, 213 Campbell Street in Shelby. Call 704-484-0025.
704 beats by Alex J.
Yeah. First and 10. We in the trenches. You like the water cooler. You be on the benches. Think your team better, but they lack skill. First snap, I leave your backs in the backfield. Your quarterback scared, I see it in his eyes. Sent the receiver in motion, that's just a disguise. My linebackers, they stepping up. Clog a hole, no letting up. Taking on no big blocks.
Good evening. If you're watching on YouTube, you're watching the Renaldo Auto Mall postgame show. I'm Kevin Hastings along with Dennis Davis, Will Boykins, John Prather, Andre Bush, Terry Reinhardt's in the house. If you like that song, check it out on YouTube. That's Friday Night Lights Win by 1G. Former Cherryville Ironman running back. I think, and I'm not going to get it right, the beats were done by former Ashbrook Green Wave. We try to keep everything local as we can. Possible. Yeah, most of our folks that work for us went to one of the local high schools. You got some Crest folks and some Shelby folks. Let's see,
some Burns folks.
Hunter went to.
I need a sticker go right here on this helmet that says "Local as it gets."
Local as it gets. So we got. I'm just gonna look at the logos and see if I can name people that went to these schools that work for us. Huss was Carson Dockery went there. Crest, well, you guys want to name all those in our group?
Andy Foster, Tim Foster, Robbie Roop, Will, me,
Tony Setafani,
RJ,
Tom Setafani,
RJ Roop, don't forget him. Yeah, Mr. Senna.
All your best announcers.
Tom Setafani, of course, is a Crest Charger transplant from Ohio, and now is a Burns Bulldog. So that's what. Of course, Matt Royster went to Burns. Hunter Yancey went to Bandy's. We've got Brent Pascoe and Jeff and those guys over at Shelby. Their cameraman is actually a senior over at Kings Mountain High School, so we've got a future Mountaineer graduate. He actually works for the Shelby Golden Lions broadcast. Over in Lincoln County, Tim Johnson, Ken Link, of course, former Lincolnton graduates there. Let's see, Ashbrook, I don't think Jock used to work for us. She was an Ashbrook gal. Jeff Miller calls in on the Forest View guys, our East Lincoln. Let's see, we used to have a fellow that worked for us from East. I don't know if we got any more East. Got a couple of the Burns, like we said. Philip Russ gives us helps out in baseball and stuff from Bessemer City. I went to Bessemer. We got Andre Cherryville. I went to Cherryville. Calvin went to Cherryville.
You went to Cherryville and Bessemer City.
I went to both. Then I'm trying to think. We got a couple more here and there, but folks, yeah, we do like to hire and bring everybody in from these other schools.
Diversity is our name.
Diversity is our name. Got to spell it first. That's a lot of syllables.
I got Google.
Hey man, nobody spells anymore, do they? They just hey Google or whatever it is. So we've got some scores to give you guys tonight. We also got a lot of postponements. We're going to give you those as well, and our schedule for this weekend. I printed some out, and I guess the guys decided they're going to throw them away. It's over there. I know you guys hadn't done. We've been busy eating Domino's pizza in here, haven't we?
Yeah, it was good stuff too, man.
Let's see. I had the pineapple. What'd you guys eat?
That's tasty. I had the pineapple, and I had the one with bacon on it.
Some people say pineapple don't go on pizza. Are you one of those, Will?
Man, no.
I am not one of those. Pizza.
You like pineapple on
like
pizza? I do too. I do too. A lot of people can't. In fact, I don't like pineapple on anything. No drinking, eating, mixed drink, whatever it is. I don't like pineapple anything except on a pizza.
My orange juice, I get the orange juice with pineapple juice in it, man.
But now that sounds like something my wife would do. She likes the pineapple juice. That's pushing it.
Are you saying your wife's juicy?
Are you doing yes? Are you doing double pull-up on that, Dennis?
Oh no, Metamucil or anything.
Okay. What was you gonna say, Will?
It goes great with vodka.
But next Friday night, we're not at the ball game, folks.
Screwdriver.
If you're driving around out and about, you can pick us up online on KTC Broadcasting. You go to ktcbroadcasting.com. You can watch us on YouTube every Friday night. You can watch us on our Wednesday show, our sports talk show Wednesdays 4 to 5, our Saturday show, our Friday pregame show. You can go back and rewatch all of those on YouTube, folks. So if you do miss them, you like to do the podcast thing, go back to our YouTube page, check them out, all our games as well. All right, guys, let's give some scores. Go across the board. I'm going to give all the postponements, and I'll let you guys do the scores. So going into Saturday, the only Saturday night special tomorrow night, Bandy's at North Lincoln.
And it will be broadcast right here on WLON.
And on ktcbroadcasting.com. They are both 6-0 in the conference, going for a first-place victory. And we talked about it last week, Will. You didn't win any money on that bet, did you? How many people?
That was not me.
How many people had Bandy's and North Lincoln in the pool as 12-0 headed into the final week of the season?
It was not me.
And I'll be honest, KTC Broadcast. We're looking at our schedules. We try to plan a couple weeks ahead. You're looking at it before the season starts. You're like that last week. You've got Maiden Lincoln, and then you've got East Lincoln, Newton Conover. So those are the games.
Yeah,
probably
that's
we're thinking
maybe
about.
The one you'd gone to.
And then now you've got two 6-0 teams. So Hunter Yancey will be on the sidelines tomorrow night at North Lincoln. Tim Johnson and Ken Link will be in the press box doing the broadcast on WLON, 1050 AM and 107.5 FM. I'm so excited about that game, guys. That's going to be a great game.
It's going to be on 105?
107.5.
107. Okay.
Yes.
Lincoln County's finest football.
Yes.
Finest football right here.
Bessemer City and Cherryville has been moved to Monday. The Battle of the Belt, Monday 7. I'm guessing all these Monday times are 7 p.m.
Let's go,
wait a minute.
Iron Man.
Isn't that when the WWE comes on?
Yeah.
There won't be nobody in the stand.
The only belt they'll be giving away that's worth anything will be in Cherryville.
Let's go, Iron Man.
On Monday night. Will's going to.
Let's go, Iron Man.
Terry, isn't that how you get a finger broke around here? We'll see how long you can clap. Going to be a good game Monday night, guys. They played it the first of the year. Close matchup. That game didn't count. It was an endowment game.
Yeah.
This one counts. It was a 3-point game. Yeah, Terry says 17-14 for the.
Well, let's get on to the real game Monday night.
I'm just what I'm talking about right now. So Bessemer and Cherryville.
No.
With the Battle of the Belt.
The real game.
Well, Terry, that's for. Dennis, the next game's for second place. This game is for third place, so it's way more important.
We're number three. We're number three.
First of all,
and it ain't the Rams.
if there is a belt given away, that's the number one matchup, no matter what's going on the night.
Hey, your daddy gave you a belt.
If they're giving away a world championship belt, this is a real belt, folks. We're not talking a plastic belt. This is a real belt.
It's a real belt.
Not quite enough.
This thing is it's nice. It's nice.
Best 2 out of. They even go best 2 out of 3 over there.
So that'll be Milton and Danny Aker. We'll have that. Milton Baker and Danny
Now them
Aker.
boys is good. I'd listen to them.
Monday night, 7 p.m. Guys, we had on our Shelby South Point broadcast, I want to mention before we get to the next game, we did have a viewer that signed in on our YouTube, said hello, and there's a South Point fan, and they're watching from their hotel in Vegas.
Yeah.
Don't know what else is going on, but they were watching the South Point Shelby game in Vegas.
Are you telling me that Vegas was covering
watching us?
Shelby South Point game?
People in Vegas are more interested in Shelby South Point than they are the Raiders.
Well, they're a better team.
there was also someone from Israel watching.
Oh, I didn't see that. Did you?
Oh, you did?
Oh, cool.
Man,
The
Israel.
guy Israel watching.
Shalom.
Speaking of Israel, that guy, put your name, phone number down, give us a message. JP, our board op, is coming to Israel Sunday. So somebody feed the boy when he gets over there.
JP's going to Israel?
JP's going to Israel on
I
Sunday.
didn't know you were Jewish, JP.
I'm not Jewish. I am not. I'll probably come back with a yarmulke on my head, but I'm not Jewish.
You're not Palestinian, are you?
Trip of us of 40 to Israel.
Okay. So his church is going to the Holy Land. They'll go on Sunday. They're going to be gone for a couple weeks. He'll be back around Thanksgiving to rejoin us. He'll have some fun tales for us. Be safe over there.
Wait a minute.
of
If you wanted to
course.
go to the Holy Land, all you had to do was come over to Crest.
That's cold. That's just cold.
That's so sad. I apologize to everybody listening right now. I mean, they're number 3 in our power poll right now.
And y'all playing for third place.
Exactly. We're playing for a belt. What are y'all playing for?
Monday.
And if they don't win, their
how about
pants
this?
will be down around their ankles.
At the end of the season, whoever wins that Cherryville Bessemer game
Yeah.
will have more trophies
Yeah.
than whoever wins the Kings Mountain Crest game. Because they'll have a belt,
Trophies.
and those two
Trophies.
teams will have nothing.
Trophies.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the trophy case over at Crest?
I just said this year, Dennis. I mean, you can talk about the fact. I just said at the end of this year,
You.
one of those teams will have a belt, and the nobody from Kings Mountain Crest have anything.
Will.
One of you have a 3 seed. Congratulations.
Actually, that game is more important. That is for the county championship.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Have y'all? Is that for? Okay.
I mean, everybody in Trial.
Whoa. I thought Huss was the Cleveland County champion.
Absolutely not.
I thought Hunter
don't
Huss was
belong-
the Cleveland
they don't
County
belong in
champion.
Cleveland County.
Terry, is
Huss
Huss not
has
the Cleveland County
a
champion this year?
very good year.
Hunter Huss, Cleveland County champion.
I will give
They
Huss
didn't play
the
Shelby.
due.
No,
So they can't
that
be the
don't
county
count.
champion.
Well,
They
they're
have
3-0.
beat Kings Mountain. They have beat Crest.
and they dog walk Burns. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
We'll
that
give them their
counts.
due.
All right, guys, let's give some scores tonight. Shelby wins 41-25 over South Point. You just heard Jeff Jones and Brent Pasco breaking it down. Big time game over there. Exciting game always between those two schools. And we want to thank, of course, David Allen and the administration over there at Shelby High School allowing us to broadcast the games. Folks, if you did watch the game tonight, you're watching now. If it's at South Point, you couldn't watch tonight. Some schools do not allow the video. And so we want to thank all the ones that do. That get to bring you that. You folks watching in Vegas wouldn't have been able to watch tonight. And so I want to thank all the folks that allow us to come out and
Kevin,
broadcast the games.
Can I say a word about that?
Go ahead.
It's in the best interest of the schools. Well, they have fans that are in Vegas or Timbuktu or Israel somewhere, and they don't get to come to the home games.
Cheryl's got a fan.
This
in
is for your alumni.
Vietnam, I think.
This is for your shut-ins, your invalids. You deny some poor guy in a rest home a chance to see his golden lines.
Will works late night. You like pull up the charges and lines on the internet,
I
don't
watch
you?
them all the time.
Yeah. So yeah.
But this is really a service that KTC Broadcasting does for the schools, and we even pay them for it.
Right. This week we did the middle school game. The Burns Kings Mountain Middle School game. Didn't make a dime on it, folks. Didn't charge any advertisers. Didn't do anything. And we had the middle school folks come on. So we did that game.
They didn't tell you couldn't broadcast it?
No, we come do the middle school game. We've been invited we've actually been invited, called every year to do the middle school game, the Tri-County Middle School game. So want to thank them for that. Burns wins 28-7 at North Gaston. Speaking of the video, the last few years, North Gaston decided not to allow video. This year they allow us to come over, and we would thank them. The seniors got their last game there at North Gaston on the internet. Kawan Pryor tonight, guys. Kewan Pryor. Let me make sure I say it right.
Yeah.
Kewan had 22.
That's my little cousin. Make sure you sound his name right.
Your cousin?
That's my cousin.
Listen, I know how y'all are cousins over there. You don't talk about my cousin.
It's like
over
you
here,
and your cousin.
Don't talk about my adopted cousin.
Your adopted cousin. As soon as you get your first check,
the Kewan had 222 yards rushing in the first half tonight. Finished with 267. Guys, if the season ended today and he don't play another game because we don't know about the playoffs, he would finish an estimated, because I don't want to be exact, 1,908 yards rushing, which is not a school record, but it's up there. Great season, right?
I want to give him a shout out. Now, Will, I'm going to be honest. You know, we're Charger people and we're rivals with the Bulldogs. But I think this young man is probably the outstanding offensive player in the county this year because of the yards that he's obtained under, difficult circumstances. Let's put it that way.
Right.
It's tough to go tote that ball when week after week you're not winning.
Yeah.
And if Kevin were in here, we'd ask him how that feels.
Do what?
Toting that ball week after week when you're not winning. How's that feel, Kevin?
It's fun. Football's fun to play.
Yeah.
So
It's a whole lot funner when you win it.
well, some of you take it way too serious.
Yeah, I mean they broadcast the games on radio and
Yeah, I know.
That's why we have
for
rings,
for
too.
fun, and we like.
Check the trophy case.
I think I know you guys are talking about the trophy case and rings and everything, but you guys also got to understand. Look at that other board right now. Look at the board. How many games we got up there? 15, 17, 8, 20 something games up there.
Yeah.
Not all of them have rings.
No.
So you've got 50 years of Cherryville, or 50 years of East Rutherford or East Gaston of players and hundreds of players that have played and lost, and I'm not fussing at you guys at all. What I'm saying is that you get complacent. Some of you in the winning, the South Point folks, the Shelby folks, the Crest folks, you get complacent in the winning. You don't understand. It's not like college where you can recruit new guys, or the NFL you can sign anybody, you can make a difference and do something about it every year. There's nothing you can do in some of these schools in some sports. At Cherryville Bessemer?
Yeah.
What are they recruiting? All the charter schools in the conference can recruit. Cherryville Bessemer have I think 4,000 to 5,000 homes in the city.
Cherryville charter. How's that sound to you?
Winston-Salem Prep takes 2.5 million homes just in the Winston-Salem area, and so it just. But what I'm just saying is like not. A lot of these guys play hard and do. I think they should get more credit for getting beat 46 to nothing than winning 46 to nothing.
I'm going to quote.
Spoken like a true non-state champion. Thank you, sir.
Hey,
I appreciate you.
I'm going to reference our president Roosevelt.
Andre, if Cherryville got to double their football players and had 60 people out there, would they not be competing over here with Chris and Shelby?
Hey, if frogs had wings, they wouldn't bump their butt when they jumped.
But you guys,
we got Steve DeGray on the phone.
I know, but we're talking about like. Just because you play for a school, you're a better football player. You have more football players. You don't have better football players.
As I was about to say, paraphrasing President Theodore Roosevelt, the Republican, he said, it's the man in the ring that's in there trying and giving his best. That's who you recognize. So for that reason, I give respect to the guys from Highland Tech or Cherryville or Bessemer City or Burns or whoever is playing. You guys that are out there and giving your all and sweating and getting hurt. Hey, you guys are, doing great things, and it will come back and play. Football is a metaphor for life.
I agree. And guys, we just rise. I'm trying to get a rise out of that.
He can rise out of me. Y'all don't want to play some baseball, so we can talk about football all day.
The only rise he's ever had is a yeast infection.
I tell you what, from March to June, we're gonna have a post-game baseball show. You guys are invited to come on.
Baseball.
Y'all play baseball?
You guys are more than welcome to come on.
Now, you can talk to me about state rings.
Hey, wait a minute. Who played in the state championship last year? Wasn't it the Chargers?
It was.
Yeah.
I was saying he can talk to me about state.
Dennis, you don't want me to go there, do you? We can talk about that in a break.
I will give Cherryville credit for baseball. They are superb. They are spectacular.
Which one of his schools you gonna give credit for? Are you gonna give it to baseball?
All of them.
Or Cherryville?
All of them.
I'll give credit to any school he's ever been to.
Well, let me put it this way. My record is 4-0 against Devin Lowry.
Hey, thank you, folks, for tuning in to the.
Write that down, Will. 4-0 against Devin Lowry.
Okay.
See, if you South Point fans want to know, at Cherryville and Bessemer, I was 4-0 against Devin Lowry. All right. The Hunter Huss beat Ashbrook 46 to nothing. Kramer 45-7 over Forest View. East Rutherford 48-7 over East Gaston. Drone 28-17 over East Burke. St. Stephen's 28-21 over Hickory.
Oh, wow.
Chase 43-28 over Orange Central. That game was back and forth. Crazy game if you was out in Rutherford County.
So who
Chase
is the
led
champion in Rutherford County? Is it East Rutherford or is it Chase?
Oh, it's definitely East Rutherford. East Rutherford, we're going to talk about the PowerPoints a little bit. East Rutherford, South Point, and Shelby all tied with the exact number of PowerPoints on our PowerPoint.
Wow.
Thomas Jefferson's the champion.
Oh, yeah, there
That's
you go.
right.
Thomas Jefferson is 11-0.
I
I think that's a... challenge to the East Rutherford crowd, maybe. There's a lot of blowouts tonight, by the way. High Brighton 44-0 over Patton. Alexander Central 56-22 over South Caldwell. Watauga 6-2-0 over West Caldwell. And West Lincoln 65-7 over the Lake Norman Chargers. So we had about 10 games tonight. We got about 10 more on Monday. Some more games moved to Monday. McDowell and Freedom. Ford and West Iredale, I think, played tonight, Terry. We're going to get that score in just a little bit. Newton Conner East Lincoln moved to Monday. Lincoln and Maiden moved to Monday. Mountain Island Charter, Highland Tech moved to Monday. Hey, guys, Highland Tech Monday night. First conference wins, and I think in 5-10 years, something like that.
And I want to give a shout-out to Mountain Island Charter. They've got a quarterback, you said, is just committed to Stanford.
He is originally, I think he went somewhere else originally, but he was Wisconsin. And then now Marcus Graham, I think they just showed earlier as his announced that
and
he's
they have
a Stanford
running back who's a junior who's the first 2020 commitment to the Carolina Tar Heels. So, hey.
And Terry advised him that was a bad idea.
Well,
pregame
Terry's a Wolfpack.
Okay, so the Wolfpack guy. No, that's a bad idea, kid. Adults, So anyway,
the question is, will Fedora ever coach him?
Yeah, that's
2020. He will not.
Well, what's bad about it, Will, is he's got a contract through 2022.
It's only about a $12 million buyout, Will.
Just pay him his money and get somebody in there.
Taxpayer pay out the coach buyout. Sorry, guys. But we can't pay the players. We can pay this coach $12 million not to play.
Hey, wait a minute. They get
But
stipends.
Chaz Surratt can't sell his shoes.
Did you know that players in college get stipends? And based on where you live, if you're out of state, you get like a $3,000 stipend to buy pizza and do your laundry. And in-state guys, depending on how far away from the college you live, can get like $2,500. And it comes in, like, hey, that's like $200 a month, Will. That's more than we make. You can buy pizza. Of course, we get pizza, though, so never mind.
$200 a month.
Never mind.
Awesome, Dan.
The poor kids. The poor kids.
Dennis, that was a great statement.
So, yeah. So back over. Schedule for the Monday: Bessemer City, Cherryville, Kings Mountain Crest, McDowell, Freedom, Mountain Highland Charter, Lincoln and Maiden, Newton Conner, East Lincoln. That's for Monday. Tonight, South Point loses to Shelby 41-25. Burns wins 28-7 at North Gaston. Kramer 45-7 over Forest View. Huss 46-0 over Ashbrook. East Rutherford 48-7 over East Gaston. Drone in a tight one with East Burke 28-17. Hickory falls to St. Stephen's 28-21. That game was close back and forth the whole game. Chase on our Central tonight. Chase wins on the road 43-28. Thomas Jefferson, like Will says, is the king of Rutherford County at 11-0. Last 5 years overall, 52.
Congratulations, Coach Jerry Cash.
Yep. Maybe they'll get the 1 seed in the 1A.
Yeah, I would think they'd be the
Cherokee get the 1 seed, would they not?
Think so? I don't know. I don't know how they decide those things. Flip coins, they pick out a hat.
Power rating, it's all that max preps.
On South Park,
jumbo.
On South Park, they cut a chicken's head off, play a kazoo, and see which hole he falls in. I don't know if that's how the Athletic Association did too.
Pretty close. That's pretty close.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
no. We go get a California chicken.
We don't.
Put its head on.
We don't.
No, JP. We had a mean phone caller. Will is what we had.
I wish we could hear from somebody.
He was being mean to Dennis.
A real Shelby. Who would be mean to
No,
me?
I'm just messing with you.
I want to hear from some real Shelby fan like Steve Degree or Bobby, and tell us about this game.
We do have a phone caller, just so y'all
Oh,
know.
I didn't know we had one.
I just
I
said that.
just told y'all who was
We
on the
apologize, Steve.
No, yeah, I do remember you now saying it. JP, when I look up in there and I see you playing solitaire, I assume they hung up.
phone. I'm actually reading a book.
Thank you, JP.
Well, you're going to Israel on Sunday. It
I'm
better
glad
be. I know
I'm
which
glad
book
we're
it better
entertaining
be.
enough for you.
Wait a minute, he's
I know which
reading a
book it
book.
better be.
He's reading a book. He didn't go to Cherryville.
He's going to. Charlie
I was
Choo Choo Justice.
homeschooled, just so you know.
Okay.
So, no, I never
All right,
went to Cherryville.
let's put
First
Steve.
time I came
Let's
to
put Steve
Cherryville when I
Degree up
started
on.
working here.
Let's put Steve Degree up on the line, and we'll talk a little bit. Sorry, Steve. We didn't know you was on the line for that long on hold, buddy. I didn't. I wouldn't have done that to you on purpose. I would do it to some of you, but not you, Steve. 41-25 victory overnight. Steve, tell about that line play, because of course playing the Red Raiders, offensive defensive line is probably the most important part of the game.
I'll tell you what, guys. Everybody had Shelby written off when we was 1-3. Talking about the offensive line and certain things about the coach, and I feel like them guys, they've stuck together. And tonight they played a great South Point team. You know, South Point went up 12-0. We couldn't solve the triple option tonight at first, so they went up 12-0. We made we made one stop and came back. Then we took the lead, and they made some adjustments. But you know, sooner or later they're going to break one. Then quarterback broke one, took it to the house, and we just kept fighting and kept fighting and kept fighting. Then they kicked off to us, and Mr. Excitement, Fabian Peters, ran back another kickoff, 96 yards, to put us right back on top. Every time they score, we'll score. And then we kept doing the jet sweep. And number 10, Mitchell, Jahari Mitchell scored that last touchdown to put us up to 41-25. I tell you, it was a great win for Shelby to get us the conference championship and maybe a number 4 seed in the playoffs, but we won't know yet because we know Hot Brighton is probably going to be the number 1 seed. But
well, they're ranked 8th. I mean, you know, among the 2A teams, Steve. Who knows how this is going to turn?
Returning champions and ranked 8th.
But listen, one thing I want to say about Shelby. You guys have gotten better. At the first of the year, you know, everybody was on your case. It was not the same. You guys stuck to your plan. You improved. Tonight, I was impressed with Shelby. Even after you were down 12-0, you guys came back, and you did it through the passing game. South Point is not a team that is built to come back, if you will, and overcome a large deficit. And you guys were able to match their score and go up 13-12, and then you continued to score. And I told Anthony there from Carolina Varsity, I said, once they get ahead like that, they will take it to the barn, if you will. The other thing was, if South Point, in grinding it out, had kept your defense on the field for long periods of time, and you guys hadn't scored those points, your guys would be with their tongues hanging out in the fourth quarter, and that's the way that South Point wins. I applaud the coach for your play calling, your offense, your receivers, your quarterback has matured a great deal, and I think that was the key to Shelby winning tonight. You guys could put points up, and they couldn't catch up.
Yeah, and also Darren Davis did a great job on number 5. He caught a couple of passes, but he played lights out as a cover corner.
Yeah.
And the defense, you know, finally saw the fullback, and you know, like you said, the first beginning they kept the ball for about 7 minutes and drove 88 yards. Didn't even make no negative plays. You know, no negative plays on defense. You know, they took the ball, drove right down our throat, and scored. And like I said, our kids didn't panic. When we went up by 12, then we come back and got that touchdown and cut it to 12-7. Then went up 14-12. My kids never panic, you know, because sometimes by the offense, when it's working good, one play you score. And that's just the way it happened tonight. You know, it was just for us tonight.
Steve, I've got a question. Those of us on the other side of the door in the press box, there was a call down at the northern end of the end zone. It resulted in a penalty. What was that call? We thought it was a lineman downfield. We were told it was not. Was it somebody that went out and came back into the field to play? Was it that the guard pushed the receiver in the back and helped him down the field? What was the call that you guys on the radio side had on that play?
I don't really know what it was. They said it was we looked at participation. I think they said we had 12 players on the field or something. On that one play, we looked at participation. So I guess they said we was having 12 players on the field.
I guess
I don't really know what it was.
Somebody speculated, one of the officials that was running the clock, maybe you broke the huddle with 12 men in it.
We never went to the huddle. We never had a huddle.
I know. That's what was surprising.
I don't know where that call come from. But anyway, I was glad we was able to overcome it and just keep on playing. I went to practice this week and watched them practice against the Red Bone, and they didn't even have a football. Because when you practice to get the red bone, you don't need to watch the football. You got to tackle the man.
There's 3 people you got to keep an eye on. Tell them who they are, Steve.
The fullback, the quarterback, and the pitch man. And you got to do all 3 every single play.
Yeah.
And that's why Coach didn't have no ball. It was making them play man. And you got to tackle that fullback every time. Every single time.
Every
you don't
time.
know when they're gonna get, every time.
And unlike, and your line coach, unlike usually, where you're standing up and you're power rushing or bull rushing that guy, in this type of offense, to defeat that, what you do is your linemen basically, when they come at you low, you just pile on top of them, and then your linebackers make the play to stop the runner.
Yeah, they was back and jacking Jalen up a little bit, let him get a good run start. Another thing too, when you play against South Point, you can't crowd the line of scrimmage. You got to back your lineman off a little bit to try to stop the cut block. And so once they got that together, like Ethan Mitchell and Keith, 55, them guys, they played a real good football game, Cherryville, where the linebackers could make the stop. It was a total team defense effort.
Well, having played tonight and not knowing where you'll rank and what teams you'll be playing, it's an odd situation coming up this week. You got the night off.
Yeah, I talked to Coach Webb. We didn't know who we're going to play. We was going to, next week, just fine-tune stuff and, just go over your tendencies. And I guess then we'll find out maybe next Saturday who we're going to play and where we're going to play them at.
This week is about correcting your mistakes and not worrying about what the other guy does.
That's exactly right.
All right, Steve. Well, good luck on your week off. Y'all rest up, take care of any injuries, anything like that you guys got to take care of. We know we'll see you guys in the playoffs, WHS, and on YouTube. Good luck, and I guess we'll talk to you in a couple of weeks on KTC. We won't have a show next week. I'll just say that, okay?
I just want to also say the Christian community lost a great man this week. For former Chris Charger,
yes.
David Hardison, all the Hardison brothers. I had a chance to go out and talk to Herbert the other night. He reminisced on some old Shelby Chris football games, and we just want to know that, we let everybody know that they have our sympathies. Charlie and James, and James had to leave because Trey had to play on TV Thursday. But I told Herbert, he was the best athlete out of all the 4. I know the rest of them might get me, but that's just my opinion. Because when we played them, we had to have a whole defense just to stop Herbert. Because if he hit the sideline, it was over.
Well,
some of y'all guys remember.
Steve, I was going to talk about it later, but I went to the funeral today. I did not get to stay. I did see Bobby over there and a lot of folks that we know here associated with football, but I did get to talk to Cheese on the outside. It was so crowded, we just eased on out, and I eased on home because it was raining like standing under a fire hose. But I said, I remember David as a 10th grader sitting in my homeroom. I had Coach Beam as a guy that was in my homeroom too. And I remember turning to David one day and saying, do you play football? And he said, no, but I run track as a freshman. And he was a sophomore. And Coach Beam walked over and said, hey, you'll be at the field house today at 3 o'clock. And that's where it started with all the Harbisons that we've had. And there's been some great kids who contributed a great deal, male and female. Harbisons, great people, good family, solid citizens. And I regret that because David was a friend up until the end. And I tip my hat to the whole family.
And the ironic is now when you go out to the Harbisons, you have to trip because, they moved the school lines, and now some of the Harbisons go to Shelby. So I told her, we got to watch what you say now because there's a lot of good lines in your family now. And DeMario from DeMario Houston, he was there. So I just want to say to the Harbison family, even though David went to Chris, he still was a good friend of mine, and he's going to be truly missed.
Yes, he will. Steve, we appreciate you calling. Like I said, next week, take it easy. Take the wife out to dinner. Do something different for a change, okay?
I ain't got done one of them, so I just took myself out.
Hey, Will's wife took him out tonight. Maybe
oh boy,
maybe we could go out with Will and his wife next week.
Steve, I had a filet and a sirloin tonight. Boy, I'm just
Lord.
telling you.
Is that why you just looking back? You about to pass out over here?
Oh, my goodness.
I'm gonna be going to the Kings Mountain game on Monday.
Yeah. If it's played Monday, it may end up being played Friday, you know.
Okay, then I'm also tomorrow I'm going to watch Scott Weber play. Tomorrow she got senior night up at
Greensboro.
In Greensboro. So I'm gonna be going up there tomorrow to watch him play.
All right, Steve. We appreciate your call, man.
All right, y'all guys have a great night.
Thank you.
All right, Steve Gray, Shelby Golden Lions broadcast. Golden Lions win 41-25. JP, you ready for a break? JP, you ready for a break? We're going to enjoy some more Domino's pizza. Give them a call in Kings Mountain and Cherryville tonight and any night. Have you even had any pizza?
I'm not eating anything.
I was about to say, you just had steak all night.
At least have some of them little cinnamon things, man. They good.
Filet and a sirloin.
Josiah is down the hall. He's eating on some pizza. Let's see. Navion's Farley stopped in. He had some pizza. I just saw Trent Marty. He might have already left. He came and got some pizza on his way in and out. He's had a long day himself with the Bulldogs win over North Caston. All right, guys, we'll be back in a few minutes. KTCBroadcasting.com.
Ride today at Blanton Cars in Shelby, the new car alternative. Come on in today and ride today. Down payments start as low as $500. Come on in for all the details. And check out the huge selection of late model cars, trucks, SUVs, and more. Shop online at BlantonCars.com. Ride today at Blanton Cars in Shelby, the new car alternative. Visit the locations today, 325 West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby and at 1711 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Blanton Cars in Shelby. I'm Calvin Hastings for Renaldo Auto Mall Smart Service. What smart service, you say? Smart service is, to put it simple, speed, quality, and competitive pricing. Renaldo Auto Mall has brought back many of the old-time quality procedures and added some more. You get fast service oil changes, plus tire rotation, plus lube, and then they'll clean your glass and give your car a wash, all while you wait. Now that's smart service, speed, quality, and competitive pricing at Renaldo Auto Mall, where you get service at a high level of efficiency and speed. Located at 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, right below the Cleveland Mall. It's time to say big on your dream RV at Campers Inn RV in Kings Mountain. From November 15th till 18th, they're offering rock bottom auction pricing on 2018 motorhomes and fifth wheels. Find a 2018 Keystone Avalanche with middle bunk room for just $49,229, or a 2018 Forest River FR3 Class A motorhome for just $79,995. The inventory is priced to move, so hurry on in because these RVs are going. Visit Campers Inn RV, the RVer's trusted resource, or campersinn.com today. That's Campers Inn, Highway 161 South at I-85 in Kings Mountain. CarPro, located at 1520 South Post Road in Shelby, has tires. That's right, CarPro has tires, all sizes, at the best prices in town. Buy a brand new set for $200, including mounting and balancing. And remember CarPro for all of your automotive needs, from an oil change to a tune-up, from air conditioning to heater work. Plus, check out the line of late model used cars too at CarPro, 1520 South Post Road in Shelby, right across from Ingles. And like them on Facebook too. That's CarPro. Check out the great financing deals at Classic Ford Lincoln in Shelby. Get up to $4,000 in rebate on the 2018 Ford Focus, plus 0% APR financing for 60 months, plus $2,000 on the 2018 Ford Escape, and get 0% financing for 72 months on the 2018 Ford F-150 truck at Classic Ford Lincoln, 1775 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. All roads lead to the Classic Corner. Online at ClassicFordofShelby.com.
Former club members Denzel Washington and Jennifer Lopez for the Boys and Girls Clubs.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future.
You can change a child's future. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
You can open doors for children to have great futures at the Boys and Girls Club of Cleveland County. Visit us at 412 West Sumter Street or at greatfutures.org.
How about a little funkadelic?
What?
There is no music.
What? No intro?
He said play music, JP. JP just pointed. He didn't care.
Hey.
He didn't care at all, Will. JP, did you dress up for Halloween last week?
Hey.
Yes, I did. I was actually Indiana Jones this year.
Indiana Prather.
Yeah, I can show y'all the picture. I got a picture of it.
I would like to see a picture.
I definitely
Will, did you dress up?
I did.
Did you really? I was expecting
No,
a
no.
no on that.
He looks like this all the time.
I did.
You're Tiger Woods tonight with a Nike jersey. There. Nike
no,
shirt there.
we had to at work, so we had to.
Okay.
We had a trunk or treat.
So what was you?
I was an old car dog. I had on probably the loudest shirt that I've ever seen in my closet, and a whole lot of gaudy jewelry, and yeah.
I got a fish tie if you ever want to borrow one.
A fish tie.
That would have been perfect.
Well, that would have been what you need.
Perfect.
Oh yeah, we took the kids trick or treating this year over in Bessemer as usual. There's a couple neighborhoods over here you can kind of. There's just tons and tons of people that go up and down them, and they're excited. My nephew's, it was his nephew. I don't even know how. Yeah, I guess he's my nephew. Anyway, he's one. It was his first Halloween, and just turned one. I guess last year didn't really count. He was a month old, but anyway, he was a lion, and he just rode around in his stroller the whole time. He did like the candy part, so he had fun. My son and him kind of. Showed him the way.
I kind of like the candy part too.
Yeah. So my son and the daughter got back though. You know, we had to do the daddy tax. So,
where's the daddy tax?
Daddy taxed Kit Kats, Reese's, a couple Snickers, and a couple Sweet Tarts.
I miss those days. The daddy taxes always was great.
That's the best part, ain't it?
What's bad is when the kid wakes up the next morning and says, "Daddy, where my candy at?"
Where my candy at?
Well, son, at some point you got to learn about taxes.
Oh, did you see
Today is the best day.
Did you see the women that did the prank on their kids was going, "Baby, I ate all your candy last night. I got hungry."
No.
Oh my.
They cry.
God.
My daughter would cry. I told her last night I was going to eat one piece of her candy. If I told her I ate it all.
This one guy's son said, "Do you still love me?" He said, "I used to love you until you ate all my candy."
All right, guys, scores tonight. Shelby victorious over South Point Red Raiders 41-25. Say hello to our friends in Vegas and Israel watching tonight. Bye, Josiah. You have a good night.
See ya, Josiah.
Future Thomas Jefferson quarterback Josiah Montgomery leaving the house unless Dennis didn't figure out a way to pay him to come to Crest. Burns 20. Actually, you do. He's in the Burns district. So Andre's trying to get a nice apartment. If anyone's listening, Burns 28-7 over North Gaston. Bessemer City and Cherryville play Monday. Kings Mountain Crest play Monday. Huss 46-0 over Ashbrook. That bell. I saw on Twitter, Will, the Ashbrook players, ringing the bell. Didn't last long, did it? Before the game.
Why would the Ashbrook?
I don't think you got to ring it much tonight.
No, they didn't ring it at all. Huss took it home tonight. The bell is now Carolina Blue.
Yeah.
46-0. Kramer 45-7 over Forest View. East Rutherford 48-7 over East Gaston. Drawn 28-17. I gotta move this ugly NC State helmet out of my way so I can read that. Drawn 28-17 over East Burke. St. Stephen's 28-21 over Hickory. McDowell and Freedom play Monday. Chase RS wins over RS Central tonight 43-28. I just said Jefferson won tonight. They're 11-0 now, guys.
Champions of the Rutherford
Southern
County.
Piedmont 1A and Rutherford and the Rutherford County champions. That Will says. Now looking at the PowerPoints, Will though, East Rutherford's ahead of them by 4 PowerPoints. So
did East Rutherford beat them?
No, they didn't play.
Yeah.
So,
there's the champions.
There's the championship game.
East Rutherford is 9-2.
They ain't got nothing to do Friday, do they?
We got to do y'all's fuzzy math on this thing.
They don't have nothing to do Friday.
I say let's meet them on the field,
and we'll come up with a trophy, and we'll give it to the
meet
winner.
us over at McNair Field, and we'll settle this once and for all.
Well, we'll have to do it at a neutral site, or was you talking to the baseball field?
Yeah.
Meet at Shelby High School, and we'll play this East Rutherford Thomas Jefferson game. They're 7-8 now in our power poll. East Rutherford, Shelby, and South Point guys all have exactly the same number of points, 15 points. Shelby beat South Point and East Rutherford. South Point beat East Rutherford. So it ends up Shelby is in the 5, South Point 6, East Rutherford 7, Thomas Jefferson 8, North Lincoln 9, Kramer 10 in our power poll. Top 4 stay the same. Huss 1, Kings Mountain 2, Crest 3, Bandy's 4. And, of course, all that will change tomorrow night, and then it'll change again on Monday night after those games. So, folks, there's your top 10 if you were listening tonight. Real quick, back across top 10. Hunter Huss 1, Kings Mountain 2, Crest 3, Bandy's 4, South Point 5, I mean, Shelby 5, South Point 6, East Rutherford 7, Thomas Jefferson 8, North Lincoln 9, Kramer Storm 10. So that's going into this weekend. Of course, that will change. Some of that will change Monday. So,
boy.
Kings Mountain Crest Monday will be on at WOHS with the Fosters in the gang. We'll be over at Kings Mountain High School. I'll be over there helping them out, getting set up. And then I might make my rounds back around town in the Vesper City Cherryville game. That's also Monday at 7 o'clock. That's on WCSL with Baker and Acre.
That's going to be a good game. It's going to be a slobber knocker.
Saturday, I'm excited about this game. Bandy's the North Lincoln guys talking about slobber knockers. I think we're going to have a
That's conference championship.
Game. Yep.
That's for the belt.
That's for the belt.
There is no belt in that one.
Oh,
that's for the title.
That is for a something. I don't know.
That is for the title.
Do they actually give trophies or plaques for the conference champions?
You get a plaque.
Some of them, a plaque. Okay. Mm-hmm. I was just wondering exactly how.
Yeah, we used to accuse Brian for
he
playing
doesn't
for
know
T-shirts all the time.
He doesn't know if they ever give trophies for the conference championship. You know why, don't you?
Oh boy, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah, because at Cherryville they only hang state championships up, Dennis. That's why.
Is that basketball or baseball?
It's baseball. they only hang.
It's football
up.
season, gentlemen.
I should be nice. Coach Quattlebaum was a quality guy.
What?
Joel was on the line.
Who cares?
What?
No, I'm just playing. Joe or Jeff?
Joel.
Hey, Joe. You got rained out tonight, boss.
Yeah, they said it was raining. I said they should. And then somebody said something about a small leak in the sprinkler system too, and it socked up the field. So I was like, I can see another
that
reason.
Old trick, Will. That old trick.
That's what them guys over there at Kings Mountain pull. That trick right there.
I've staying in a lot of games at Kings Mountain in rain, pouring rain. I said, come on, guys, I'm ready for this game.
All right, now who was injured that you guys were stalling till Monday to get it healed up?
Everybody. It's Kings Mountain. What are you talking about? Golly. Well, coming in this game, it's pretty key. It's going to affect home and away games coming here in the playoffs. Joe, you guys need to win this game. How do you see? And I think it's a very tough game to gauge, because I think Crest matches up with your Kings Mountain offense better than any other team around this year because of one guy, and they can put Sanders on pace hour, and pace hour hadn't had anybody that could run, jump, or play with him this year, and Sanders can make a difference on that. And then I think if he can do that, then the key is the Kings Mountain running game on offense. And the other question is, how will your Kings Mountain defense adjust to stopping this running attack from the Chargers?
They're going to have to figure out something because we've been in a lot of games where somebody's leaks ran all over us. And it gets frustrated at times because they know we're better what we see on the field. It just because half the time we play, we look like an average team out there, and then at times we look good because they're sometimes they're one dimensional, and but it's like I was telling everybody. I said what's been killing us all year is the sloppy turnovers, and it's not just been those two losses. It's been in a lot of games.
Well, Joe, in these games, you're right about they're good that we think are going to be close. The turnover thing is very, very, very crucial, and a lot of people don't really think about that. If you listen to Jeff and Brent, they're playing the option and they're out here wishing for fumbles a lot of times. It's kind of weird to say that, but Jeff was like, I know that sounds weird, and he explained. He said, I know that sounds weird, but you got to kind of do that when you're playing against that type of offense. And you're right. I do think the turnovers is going to be big. I don't think either one of these teams is just going to come out here and just beat the other one into the ground or anything. But I think they could.
I don't think they are. I think both teams are. I think these teams are both teams are going to come out and beat each other into the ground.
No, I mean, do you think one of these teams could beat the other one by 20 points?
I mean, I don't know if this is going to happen like that, but I think they're going to come out and play hard. They're going to come out.
It depends, Will, on special teams who can get a break and run a punt or a kickoff back for a score, or intercept a ball and return it for a score, or something of that nature will probably be the deciding score in this particular games. I mean, the Kings Mountain offense against the Crest defense, immovable object meets irresistible force, and vice versa. So it's got to break down somewhere, and I think it breaks down on a fumble, an interception, a kickoff return, something of that nature that's going to sway the score one way or the other. It's going to be a close game. Joel, may the best team win. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, that's the way I put it. Everybody said, "What do you think you boys going to do?" I said, "I don't know. They're unpredictable every week."
Mm-hmm.
And because you know every team's going to try to clamp down on pace hire, and they know it's coming, but it's just like I tell everybody that they got more than pace hire. They just got to step up.
Well, if your quarterback scrambles and you key on Mac, then maybe he gets free. But the same thing with Crest. You key on Raekwon, then you got to handle the quarterback. You got to handle Xanders. You got to handle some of these other guys that can break it, and then you got the green kid that can receive it. So you dink and you dunk. You don't throw the 50-yard touchdown pass like Paysauer gets, but you move the ball down the field and you score, and that's what's going to happen.
I told somebody, it's like, if they can just get Paysauer said they have to throw them long balls all the time, did like they did like last week against Horseshoe. They was doubling every time he went down, and they finally had to throw a little short pass, and all of a sudden, once he got by his man, he was gone. I said, now that's it. Now I was like, because we don't have to throw down deep on all the time for Paysauer, because he can catch one little pass.
He can make separation when he get the ball. He is a playmaker,
and he can be a great decoy too.
And plus but they got Mac in the backfield.
Yeah,
they got Wade on the center. They got Mac in the back. They got Paysauer outside. This team is loaded. They got the big guys.
But we got Raekwon Turner-Young, man.
But that's what I was going to say. Raekwon Turner-Young is running just as hard as Mac is. And
this year I would have to say, of the two, that Raekwon Turner-Young is a better back than Mac, because Mac's been injured all year up to this point. And Raekwon is not a running back. He had to fill in for some injured people. Kings Mountain's not the only ones that got injuries. Right. Crest just had to make do with some injuries, some other things.
When Mac's been out, we had James, I can't even pronounce his last name.
Ussery.
Yeah, Ussery. He stepped in. He's done pretty good the time that he's got to play, and he stepped in pretty good while he's in his absence.
And then you got the older Paysauer brother who's not even playing right now. But so the younger brothers covered. So you guys have had injuries too. What this boils down to is not who's injured or whatever. It's who's on the field Monday night that gives the best performance with the least turnovers, the least fumbles, and gets the break and scores that intangible touchdown that we're talking about.
And then plus, I'm looking at the line across the line. I know Chris has always got the big linemen,
but so is Kings Mountain, Joel.
And I'm looking for a big showdown. Whoever the Parson line, our big lineman, that big James Parson, our big 78. And I can't wait to see who he matches up with. It's just going to be a hard-hitting game.
Well, Joel, you've been around this organization long enough to know what we mean when we say it's a slobber knocker.
Oh, yeah.
Monday's going to be a slobber knocker.
And I can't wait. Like I said, I'll spend time with my daughters tonight and everything. And it just unfortunately, I didn't get to take them and everything. We just went out and had a family night and everything. So
did you go to Wiener World or Love's Fish Box or?
Oh man.
Usually Love's Fish Box on Friday nights during football season.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Love's Fish Box. You go to a ball game and go to sleep after you eat that. They give you so much food. And
Well, it's like when Monday comes, I'll be either right up there and get it. I might stop at Wiener Works and then just take my food on to the game.
There you go.
All right, Joel. Make sure you thank our friends over at Love's. And they just celebrated last week their 50th anniversary there in Kings Mountain. So Calvin and the gang were out there. Had some I think they were giving away some popcorn shrimp the other night. But 50 years out there. And I got one little note, Joel, before you go. I did the math on this game. I did some fuzzy math for y'all. So
we in trouble, Joel.
So I did Crest average offense and Kings Mountain's average defense. If you add them together and do the fuzzy math,
Crest
should score 27 points.
27 Crest. Kings Mountain will score how many?
If you do the fuzzy math and do it all out, the Kings Mountain offense compared to the Crest defense, Kings Mountain should score 31.
Yeah, I said
31-27 based on the fuzzy math. Now that doesn't include any turnovers. Or
is it something like a fuzzy neighbor?
Based on the fuzzy math, 31-27 is.
I think he's had one.
And plus, I got a bone pick with you, Kevin. You touch that little NC State helmet on that little microphone, it's going to be trouble. I called that the last day. I said, you better not touch that. I said,
I just slid it over so it didn't mess up my view. Just burning my eyes out the corner of my
I was
eyes.
telling all my Tar Heel friends, I said, I can't wait to Tar Heel and State at the
Joel.
Yeah.
I hope you can see
check this out.
If you watch it online, Dennis is playing with his Tar Heel helmet, which I don't know if I'd be proud of that or not right now, Dennis.
Here we go.
Yeah,
Here we
switch
go.
to the Appalachian helmet.
Well, wait a minute, they lost two.
Who lasted a whole 3 days in the top 25.
Got a Georgia Southern helmet.
3 days in the top 25. All right, Joel. Next week, I guess you'll be at the game Monday night, right, bub?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready for it.
All right, you have a good one. Got another call we got to get to. Thanks for Joel Clemmer. Give us a call. Kings Mountain fan. Super fan. He's at all the games. Excuse me.
You okay?
I think we got Jeff Miller on the line.
You need some water?
Is that right?
I'm not giving him mouth to mouth. You got him.
Is that Jeff Miller on the line? Jeff, you there?
Die.
Yes.
Jeff, I was told, and I don't know if I'm right or not, because I'm told a lot of things around here that are wrong, that you were at the Huss Ashbrook game.
You heard right.
Hey, got this one right. That's what I'm talking about. So 46-0. A lot of people are probably expecting Huss to win tonight, but were you expecting that?
Well, kind of hard to say what I expected. I did expect a big Huss win tonight. But I at least thought Ashbrook might would have scored.
Yeah, I mean, so did we. I think a lot of people had it like maybe Huss with the 46, but Ashbrook putting up at least 14-20 maybe. But Huss has shut down Shelby this year as well. Or is that Crest? One of them. Sorry, wrong Cleveland County team, Will. I'm sorry, yeah, they shut down Crest 14-0.
But, of course, Ashbrook has also had a lot of injured players, and not all of them have come back as of yet. So, you got a really good Huss team. That's a state title contender versus a very wounded Ashbrook team. That's kind of the results you get. And it was a sloppy first half, I'll tell you that. It was very sloppy, lots of penalties and some turnovers. And, Huss, here's a good example of you play till the whistle. Now, didn't know if it was a backward pass or a forward pass, that Huss did. But the ball lied dormant on the ground for a few seconds, and a Huss player picked it up and ran with it.
Yeah.
And it was ruled a touchdown. Ruled that it was a backwards pass picked up by Huss and a touchdown.
Well, that was Huss's 5th shutout of the season. 11-0, the best season in school history. Who is Huss looking at going forward? And you don't look forward and everything, but Jeff, in your opinion, who is their competition in the 3A for the championship?
Well, I would say there's a good chance Creston or Kings Mountain could rematch with them, and Kings Mountain's getting better and better, and Crest looks like they're getting better, and I'm not seeing too many teams in the 3A bracket that can touch Hunter Huss. I don't know who all's going to be in the 3A and who all's going to be in the 3AA. I believe Northwest Cabarrus and Cox Mill and Central Cabarrus are all going to be in the upper 3A, so I don't think Huss has to worry about them.
Charlotte Catholic and Weddington, depending on the ADM numbers.
Oh, yes. Those two can be very dangerous for Hunter Huss, although I do see Huss beating Weddington if they meet, but Catholic could be a really good ball game right there.
Well, I'm sitting here looking at these across the board. I've got Kings Mountain was beat by Huss. They scored 21 on Huss. Crest shutout was one of the 5 shutouts. Looking at the scores for this year, Kings Mountain did score the most points on Huss. Cox Mill got 20. Clover had 14. Hickory 7. Forest View 10. There you go. Double digits for the Jaguars. Kramer 7, and then 5 shutouts. So you know this defense is really doing it, Jeff.
Well, in the Crest game, there were some caveats in that game. You know, when you get the ball on the 11-yard line and you throw an interception, when you miss a 20-yard field goal, when you give the opposing team the ball on your 1-yard line, those tend to make a difference. And it was only 14-0. And a touchdown call back too, Will.
And a touchdown call back.
Then, of course, one of Huss's key defenders left the ball game tonight. I don't know the severity of his injury, but we'll find out more on that as we, go forward.
Well, looking at the defense real quick, the last thing I was going to point out there, Jeff, they came into this game giving up 8 points a game and then pitched a shutout. So they got better on their average. 7.2 on the season is what they end up giving up, a total of 79 points in the 11 games. That's one of the best defenses we've ever seen.
Make no mistake.
I think
Hunter Huss is a good team, great defense, great offense. However, when you haven't been to the big dance, sometimes you get to that first round or that second round and you don't perform like you're supposed to. You know, that big spotlight sometimes causes things to happen.
Well, now keep in mind, some of these players, on defense and on offense too, some of these players were on the 2016 team that gave Shelby a game.
Oh, yes.
So don't discount this team. They've been there. They obviously know how to lose some, but they know how to win more. So that's with the experience they have, and a lot of them are 3-year, and some are
they're experienced.
4-year.
They're experienced.
So would you say this? With that being said, you saying these kids were on the 2016 team that played against Shelby in the playoffs, and that was a great game, but they did lose the game.
Yes, they lost it 48-33, but I think this Huss team is better than that Huss team.
So, with that being said, this is all or nothing this year, right? After this, they're going to be a pretty young team after this year.
Yes. They'll have Zoe Wallace back. They'll have Malik Corey back and a couple of linemen, and then Dontavius Nash, one of their receivers. But on defense, when you lose Bema, you lose Mooney, you lose Devin Lowry. You lose Jaheim Mullen on both sides of the ball. You're looking at some retooling. They lose, if I remember correctly, 7 starters on defense after this year, and 5 or 6 on offense. So they're going to be relatively young, but they're still going to be good, though.
Jeff, I want to take a moment to give a shout out to one of your former Forest View Jaguars, Mo Neal. He's having a great year up at Syracuse and looking good. He had a real good game last week and before, so I want to take the time to give recognition to Mo. Mo went to Carolina, Will, 7 times. They never offered him a scholarship, and so he goes to Syracuse, and Carolina's made their mistakes too.
Yep, that's a big one that they overlooked, and I think he could really help Carolina out this.
Well, a lot of people could help Carolina out this year. Off with the fedora, Jeff. that's what they started saying on Saturday. All right, Jeff, you going to kick Crest and Kings Mountain Monday?
Yes, that's a game I had circled all week to attend. Some people hounded me to go watch the Ashbrook Huss game, and I caved in and did that. Then tomorrow night I'm going to watch Bandy's in North Lincoln. Then Monday night I'm going to watch Crest and Kings Mountain.
All right, Jeff, I'll see you there. I'll be up in the press box. Come on up.
Yes, sir.
All right, buddy. Have a good weekend.
You do the same. Thank you.
All right, Jeff Miller and the gang over there, Forest View caller. He was at the Huss Ashbrook game. Really, big South expert more than anything is what Jeff is for us.
Oh, he covers them all.
The number one offense in our 6 local conferences, I guess I need to go in there and hang out real quick,
you do.
is 571 High Brighton. And
Give me that.
Go ahead.
All right. So Kevin was talking about the number one offenses. I'm gonna see which one of these pages he was leading off of.
Most of the time, he just makes it up.
Probably so.
Now he's coming back. I have to take it back. Here he comes.
I don't even see where you was at.
Fuzzy math, Will.
Fuzzy math.
Gosh, you gotta
Fuzzy
be able,
math.
You gotta be able to
Fuzzy
read.
math.
So High Brighton, 571, the most points scored of anybody this season. They added 44 tonight, making it 615 points on the season in 11 games. That's a lot of points.
Well, what about Terry pointed out here, Watauga 62-0 over West Caldwell tonight. And Terry says that West Caldwell has been outscored 621-53 this year.
621-53 in 11 games.
They've given up 7 more points than High Brighton scored. High Brighton, the number one team in our area.
Now, also a good point on that is that 2 years ago,
yes,
they was that conference champion.
Yeah,
things can change.
Oh yeah,
especially in the 1 and 2A brackets. Like it's so hard to. To talk about, you guys got the depth.
Well, look
the
at
Kings
Stuart
Mountain
Kramer
Husk
tonight, 45-7 over Forest View. A couple of years ago, Forest View was wiping the field with them, and now they turn around and hang a 45 burger on Forest View.
Look how the South Fork 2A has flipped upside down, to where you have Bandy's, North Lincoln, and West Lincoln are your top 3 teams this year, instead of Maiden, East Lincoln, Lincoln, which have been the past 10 years pretty much. Now, you talk about Maiden. They went from Caleb Farley having probably maybe the fastest player in the state of North Carolina at quarterback. We don't have that anymore. So it's a big difference in these 1A, 2A teams because, we talk about the depth all the time. It's hard to replace that type of talent from top to bottom in the depth on that. Looking at the other, what I was going to get on that Huss defense is kind of pointing out the High Brighton thing. High Brighton came into the game second in defense. So first in offense, second in defense. The defense has only given up 7 more points than Huss this year. Now look at the scoreboard to see what both teams gave up tonight. Both of them pitched a shutout. So with the number one defensive title on the line tonight, they both threw out shutouts. Huss 46-0. High Brighton 44-0 over Patton. Dennis, let's give these scores one more time real quick while we're talking.
All right, let's just go with what we've got here tonight. In Shelby tonight, it was the Golden Lions 41, South Point Red Raiders 25. Burns ventured over to Dallas tonight and laid a whooping on the North Gaston team tonight, 28-7. Congratulations, Burns, on a good year. Just getting better all the time, Will. They're going to be back in the battle here before too long. It was Hunter Huss tonight, 46-0 over Ashbrook. Stuart Kramer, team we were just talking about tonight, 45, Forest View 7. Better days are coming for both of those teams. East Rutherford, third in the conference, but tonight they laid 48 on East Gaston. East Rutherford 48-7 over them. Drone, a team that we've talked about from time to time, having trouble scoring. They had 28 tonight. East Burke had 17. And Will, in a real battle here tonight, St. Stephen's 28, Hickory 21. Take the rest of those, Will.
All right, it was Chase 43, Art Central 28. It was Thomas Jefferson 42. Union Academy 14. That gives Thomas Jefferson 15. 52-12 over the last 5 years. 11-0 this year. It gives them the what is that?
Rutherford County Championship.
What 1A do they play at? But they're the 1A conference championship.
They're the only team in Rutherford County that's 1A, so they would have won in the split division, they would have been number 1.
They've been number 1.
Yeah.
It was High Brighton 44, Patton 0, Alexander Central. Good to see them bounce back. Alexander Central 56, South Caldwell 22.
A third-place team in that conference.
A scary third-place team in that
Tell
conference.
me about it. And the first-place team next, Will?
Right. Watauga in that conference is the first place team, 62. West Caldwell, 0. And the last game was West Lincoln, 65, and Lake Norman Charter, 7.
And I want to take a minute to say
Third
something
place
here
team in
to
that
Terry and all the West Lincoln Rebels. I don't care if you're finishing third in the conference. You've had a great year. West Lincoln has shown really, really a great deal of progress this year and have made competitive football in Lincoln County. As Kevin pointed out, the conference this year was turned on its head, and West Lincoln was one of those teams that did some of the turning. And except for a few mistakes here and there, West Lincoln could have been fighting for the conference championship. But tonight they hung 65 on Lake Norman Charter.
And the two that are playing for the number one spot tomorrow night in that conference, the Bandies and North Lincoln, they're the only two teams in that conference.
And how about North Lincoln this year?
North Lincoln, I think it's all or not for North Lincoln this year. I think this is their one shot. They got to fire.
The coach up there has done a terrific job. He's come in, turned things around up there for the Knights, and I think credit is due. In Lincoln County this year, North Lincoln, West Lincoln, hats off to those teams. They have done a great job in Lincoln County football this year.
All right, guys, let's take a quick break. When we come back, Terry's going to join us for the rest of the show, last few minutes of the show.
Love to have Terry.
And then we'll give out all the scores and go over the schedule some more, give some previews for this weekend. We'll maybe have a little fun. We'll be back in just a few minutes. You're listening to Renaldo Automall postgame show on ktcbroadcasting.com.
People are talking about when they listen.
I listen at work. Mostly at work. 5 days a week.
The Boss, your beach oldies and sports stations, WOHS Shelby, WLON Lincolnton, and W268CU Shelby.
Well, now we're back. That was a quick break. I didn't know the break was that short, guys. We're already back. We're back from Renaldo Automall post-game show. Come on back in. You guys can join us.
I think you need to go to another break.
What, do I?
I think you need to find another break. I'm confused.
Well, Will's still catatonic, and he's getting ready for Monday night. We're going to have some football on KTC Broadcasting. Terry's going to join us.
Do you hear that? Do you hear the back fade I'm getting out here?
The little buzz you got there? Yeah. JP has y'all jacked up way too loud. You hear that?
Yeah. That's been wearing me like all night.
You should have said something to me there. Yeah, JP's had it turned up a little bit. He's going to Israel this Sunday.
He's all stoked about that.
Welcome to the Will Boykin Show.
Yes, folks, say your prayers and for old JP going to Israel. He'll be back. Hopefully, he'll be back safely next week.
Muzzle top.
2 weeks, I guess.
Shalom.
JP, I was homeschooled.
Yeah, he was.
Ave la Villa.
But he is a Kings Mountain fan because he goes the church he's going to is going to Israel. That he lives there in Kings Mountain and pretty much knows all the coaches and folks over there. I'll go to church.
Just remember, Jesus was a Jew.
See, Will, I would have said it if I'd known it. That's why I didn't say it. I couldn't remember it.
I ain't figured that much.
Well,
That's why I put you on the spot.
I can put you in my car and I can drive you to the church he goes to. But I can't tell you the name of it to save my life.
It's one of those churches. Huh?
No, it's not one. It's not. They don't have any snakes.
It's the Church of the Immaculate Reception.
They don't have any snakes. No, it's that big one there in Kings Mountain on the main drag. I think it's the Baptist, maybe First Baptist.
First Baptist.
Is that it there on the main
listen,
drag?
that's the political hotspot in Cleveland County.
Well, that's where JP goes.
Everybody goes to Kings Mountain First Baptist. The superintendent, the county commissioners, the Speaker of the House.
Sorry for not knowing.
So you wouldn't know your Gaston County guys.
I live in Ebenezer, man.
We'll pray for you.
Will knows what I'm talking about.
Hey.
Boy, you ain't never seen Ebenezer.
That's exactly where I live. I live right down the street. I live in the EBE. You don't worry about me.
Hey, listen, don't be saying nothing. I was at Shoal Creek today. That place is rocking, man.
Oh, my goodness.
See, Will, you're going to have fun when you come here. Speaking of fun, November 17th, you want to come see the shooting exhibition.
Tommy Sadafani.
I'll be playing basketball.
Hey, the new coach of the Cleveland Browns is here.
Yeah. I'll be playing basketball on November 17th with one of the best shooters in North Carolina history. High school basketball
Am
history.
I supposed to be somewhere next Friday?
You come on in, Dennis, too. Ty Carter, Bessemer City, hopefully he'll be playing next Saturday. Tom Sinfoni's in the house. Tom, sit down for a minute. Join us, talk a little bit about that big Burns win. Yeah, Trent came in, got some pizza, and got out of here. But anyway, real quick, raising money, whatever, doing a little thing over at Bessemer. Next Saturday, the 17th, is an alumni basketball game. Total fun. Even the cheerleaders that cheerlead can come out and join. For folks, the girls and boys, we'll have a girls and boys basketball game. If you've played basketball on any of the teams prior to 2013, or I think is the limit, you can come join the festivities and play. And I'm trying to get Will to come out there. We have a 3-point contest, and then of course we have the 2 games.
Is this Cherryville or Bessemer City?
This is the Bessemer City one.
Okay.
Bessemer City.
What's the guy that went to Wake Forest? Tony played basketball
at where?
Wake Forest.
From where?
From Bessemer City, man.
I don't know if
Bessemer City.
Oh, that was before your day.
I don't know if that's true. That might have been when we streamed games in black and white.
Bessemer City.
The only stream they had back then was out behind the school.
Stream games in black and white. No, but anyway, going to be fun next Saturday night, November 17th at Bessemer City High School. Alumni basketball game. Come out and see some old folks play some basketball, basically. All right, Tom, you sitting down in there yet? Where Tom?
Tom's eating pizza, man.
Tom's eating Domino's
right
pizza.
now.
I mean, he's got to have some Domino's pizza.
He's got to eat. He's been on the air all night. He's been excited.
Give the man a break. He called the Burns
come
game
on.
tonight.
Do what? No, go sit in there in the big man. I had to kick JP out when he had to go home, so I'm running the board now.
Come on, Tom. We want to talk Cleveland Browns football.
Go sit in my seat there, Tom. Sit in the middle there, and we're going to talk a little bit about the this
tell
big
me about
Burns
Greg
win tonight.
Williams. What are the hopes and dreams of the Browns now?
Before we talk about that, can you hear me, Kevin?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
Let's talk about Keywan Pryor with 266 yards and 4 touchdowns, and he did most of that in the first half.
I was about to say, what happened in the second half?
Boy, we called off the dogs. That's what we do in Cleveland County.
They actually, North Gaston they keyed on them a little bit more.
Yeah.
Play a little bit of defense. The field was not in good shape after the first half.
Yeah.
It was chewed up. A lot of guys were slipping around, but it was a monster first half. It was basically he was the entire offense. Had one 33-yard pass to Rashawn McDowell, and then maybe another short completion, so it wasn't too much through the air, and then just not a whole lot else. A couple guys had a few yards here or there, but just Pryor just kind of stole the show and ended up with, I didn't realize he had 26 touchdowns on the year, so just Pryor, outstanding season for him. I'm not sure if he's going to get another chance to play. I know you guys are speculating on who's going to make the playoffs, but
I think Burns will actually make the playoffs, Tom. They're listed as one of the 4 last teams to possibly get in.
Yeah. So I mean, that means I've heard Charlotte Catholic, but I just have a hard time believing they would be Little 3A. I know we're going to be Little 3A because we really have 2A numbers. There's going to be some big 2A schools that have a higher enrollment than us. I've heard Hunter Huss a lot more and more here.
Yeah.
That is more and more likely. So you guys are all the statistics nuts and have all this stuff figured out. So not sure if they're going to get it or not. But if they don't, at least you finish the season on a high note. Middle school team, let's talk about them.
Yeah,
27-0.
congratulations. Did you broadcast that game?
Yeah, we did it. Kevin, it was kind of the impromptu thing. He just said, hey, man, go over there. I put together the Burns crew, and we went over there and did that. And they've got a couple of kids over there. I think Thompson, I want to say he's the defensive lineman. The quarterback, I mean, he's not a very big kid, Mooney. But I tell you what, he can throw it, man. If he grows up a little bit more and gets a little bigger and stronger, that kid's going to be
I was asking
pretty
about
good.
him tonight. I know his parents and his grandparents are great people. His grandfather was a very great baseball pitcher back in the day, Tom. But somebody made the comment, said, he's a little short. I don't know if he can see over the line. How big is the kid?
I mean, he's not very big, but what they do to compensate that is they like to roll him out.
Yeah.
And what
like
he's
Chad
able,
Holbrook did for Shelby back in those days.
And what he's able to do is he's able to roll out and then throw, and a couple times, back across his body. The one touchdown slant he had, he rolled out to the right and just threw it back and just I was just real impressed with his, with his mechanics and his understanding of the game and where his receivers are. Just to be an 8th grader. So defensively, like I said, they're very, very good defensively. Kings Mountain drove. Their best drive was on the first drive where they drove it about 60 yards and then stalled out, didn't make it on 4th down. Then their quarterback, Broom, he went out with an injury. And once he went out, it just really wasn't the same. I was wondering if it was Greg Lloyd's son over there playing for that middle school team.
I think it might be.
Yeah, because they got a Lloyd kid on that team. I said, well, that's got to be Greg's kid.
Big old kid.
Yeah, it seemed like he's playing.
Yeah, he's a big. He played at the park.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Tom, what about the Hayes kid that plays for Burns? That's the one we've been hearing about his potential. Great running back for Burns.
Was impressed. Yeah. I was impressed with a number of their players. He included like Mooney, the quarterback, Thompson. I want to say Thompson's another guy they got him running a little wide receiver, and he was the running back. And then the defensive end, the guy had their names right. I haven't seen them too much this year because I get so caught up with high school, but they've got 2 or 3 really, really good players that
I know the running
hopefully
back's really good.
Yeah, really good. So hopefully they hang around for a few more years.
Well, let's give the Eagles their due. They're very successful, and we won't make any comments when we're not recruiting or anything at this point. I won't tell the people that Tom is the chief recruiter for the Chargers over there.
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Get you in trouble, Tom.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I'm interested in this playoff situation. What's gonna shake? But you got to see the ADMs first.
Yeah, I've got last year's numbers in here, Tom.
Okay.
As far as the ADMs, real quick on some of you guys in the 3A Crest, 1,203 students. This was last year, folks. Burns was at 976. If you'll remember,
Shelby was at 970 something last year as well.
Yeah, if you'll remember, Shelby last year 888. South Point 1,049 more than Burns, and they're in the me and Tom kind of talked the other day about it. Be maybe a nice switch for Burns to go to 2A and then South Point back maybe 3A and then switch conferences right there.
That would save South Point some gas money.
A lot of gas money. Wouldn't have to sell so many hot dogs over there. They might let us do more video if they don't have to if they don't have to sell that. Look, it's Shelby 888. East Lincoln 919. Just looking at some of these off the top of my head. Kings Mountain at 1225. Their list is probably they got the most in our area. At 1225, they got about 20 more students than Crest did. I mean, that could have changed at any time.
How many students Huss got?
I was about to say, Huss has 1,118. They actually have about 50 more students than South Point, if that gives you an idea on Huss does. So Huss 1,100, Burns, Tom, you guys 976. So Huss has 200 more students than you guys do. So they got a whole 1A school about more than you guys do. Some of these 1As, looking at these numbers, I'm looking at 175s and 250s in some of these schools. Cherryville's at 523, folks that want to kind of get an idea about that. Bessemer at 640 last year. So
Thomas Jefferson.
Thomas Jefferson. I got to find the T's. That would be after the S's, right? I got some school teachers. I got school teachers in there, right?
Unless you went to Cherryville.
I got school teachers. Thomas Jefferson at 340. But of course, they can. How many ever kids are in the state of North Carolina can go there? So that's a little bit different how that has to play out on that. So there's the ADM numbers from last year. If that guys gives you maybe an idea if you want to be 3A or 3AA. But Tom, if you do make it, you're going to be on the road. The question I have is, will you be in charge of driving the cheerleading bus again on the road for the playoffs?
I don't know, Kevin. That was kind of an impromptu thing where we run into this. Janitors and stuff can only work so many hours, and so once they get so many hours, they won't let them drive the bus. This is our great state of North Carolina, the way it treats its employees.
There's
you can't
an election
say
Tuesday, Tom.
It doesn't matter when you got our little friend the gerrymander around. The elections really don't. I hate to say that, but anyway, I'm not talking politics. I'm not getting mad at midnight.
No, we don't talk politics.
But since what happened was we had our custodial staff, a lot of them had exceeded their hours. So last minute they said, "Hey Tom, can you please drive?" And we had man time set up. We were all going to go out to eat and all this stuff. And Chris White said, and I just couldn't look at 16 sweet little angels who couldn't get to the ball game, and of course one of them's my child. So I went ahead and drove them. Now Anna had to leave early. She's got the SAT tomorrow, so she had to leave a little early, make sure she got some sleep.
Well, she'll knock the top out
16
of it.
sweet little angels.
They are just sweet little, just
You can take them to the
sweet
stripper
little
bar.
angels. But you know what? Let me
I
say
bet you
something.
couldn't hear nothing on that bus.
No, you know, let me.
He had his headphones on listening to KTC, I think.
Let me tell you that just about every one of those girls said thank you.
Yeah.
Getting on the bus and getting off the bus, so they appreciated the fact that we do run into some. Back in the day, you know, when in the late '90s, when Ron Wilson and Ron Green were there, you know, Ron Green, Tom, you're going to get your license today. You know, I mean that's just the way it was. You didn't question. It's kind of not like that. We sort of got the new breed of people that, you know, when you first came in, it's like, Tom, you're teaching 3 different things. You're the head coach of 2 different sports, and by the way, you're pushing a cart. If you make the new teachers do that this day, they might start crying. So
Ain't gonna break a nail.
So
out.
you know they just don't.
Oh
do that.
boy,
They just don't do that.
that was a shot.
They just don't do that anymore.
I'm glad we're not talking politics tonight because I don't know nothing about no politics.
Tom's trying to say, don't make you drive the bus again.
I don't want to drive the bus again.
But seriously, this is how KTC is so dedicated to high school sports. Our announcers will drive the cheerleading bus to the game. I just want someone to make that as a fact. Jerry, y'all write that down in there.
Hold it. I've got time out
KTC
here.
so dedicated. We'll drive a cheerleading bus.
Back in the day,
you were a cheerleader?
I my wife was the cheerleading sponsor, and I drove Tom's sister, who was a cheerleader, in the bus.
Yeah. But now that I'm a bus driver, I'm certified drug-free because they test me about 5 times a year.
Okay.
So I
got all
can't,
that.
no trips to California.
Here, Tom. Here, Tom. Back it up,
no
man.
trips to California for me. I got to drive the bus.
You got to turn down the field trip for that.
No, we want you to give us a sample here.
But I will say that you know, Catherine Elliott coaches the cheerleaders over there. She does a great job. So, and Chris White, our athletic director, he does a great job. So I helped them out tonight. So
wait a minute. He's trying to get out of driving that bus, Will.
Oh no, it doesn't
It's
matter.
been losing.
Yeah.
I'll probably have to drive that thing to Gastonia in a couple weeks. It'll be all right. It'll be all right.
Well, Tom, you guys win tonight, 28-7, setting up, you hope, maybe a playoff berth. And you guys got to sit around and wait. Have you talked to Coach Devine about any plans as far as practice or anything like that?
No, and that is, you know what I would do? They're not playing next Friday. Nobody's playing Friday.
Yeah.
I'd give them off till about Wednesday.
Yeah.
And just let them rest up, let them heal. You know, it's a long season. They're banged up. You got bruises. You gotta. And if you take 3 or 4 days off, and maybe you get you a couple days practice, then you come back the next week. You know, sometimes a day off's better than a day of practice at this point in the year when you're. I mean, a lot of those guys got little nicks, bruises, shoulders hurt, knees hurting. It's not gonna hurt them to not practice Monday or Tuesday, in my opinion. But you know, I don't coach anymore.
I think they would rather have, you know, Monday and Tuesday off, so they could go see some of these great games that's going to be played.
Yeah, I'd say that. Yeah.
Yeah, you could drive a busload of Burns players.
I can just drive them anywhere you want to go. I got CDL. I know I shouldn't have told Kevin anything.
Speaking of great games, the Browns play the Kansas City Chiefs this weekend. Tom, your prediction?
Well, if you know things go the way they've been going, I mean, you've got to have somebody to cover the wide receivers, which we've had some guys dinged up. I think we're getting one of our receivers back. Higgins said he's finally a full participant, so we've had some bad luck with wide receivers, but I don't know. Nobody's slowed down Mahomes, so I mean, it's just going to be. I don't know. You never know. He might have an off game, but I'm telling you what, man.
He even won on his last off game. They won on his last off game. Like,
man has thrown really 26 touchdowns so far, Will.
But what you forget is Holmgren's out there. What an offensive mind.
Oh, yeah.
Not Holmgren. Andy Reid. I always get Holmgren and Andy Reid mixed up.
Yeah.
Andy Reid's out there.
You didn't hear about it.
Yeah.
Traded Holmgren.
Yeah.
We got McCarthy right now, so we don't have.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know what It's the guy on TV said the other day by taking out Hugh Jackson and Todd Haley at the same time was like taking out the calculus teacher and replacing him with the gym teacher to teach calculus. I don't know how great an analogy that is, but
That's a pretty good analogy.
I don't know. We'll see.
Well, the question I think in Cleveland was Jackson and the offensive coordinator were just at each other's throat.
Yeah.
And the Haslam said, enough of this crap. I'm getting rid of both of them.
See, but I don't understand why you don't get rid of one or the other. I mean, you get rid of one or the
Well,
other.
you get into this locker room politics of if you took out the offensive coordinator, the people that were his supporters would say, oh, you got rid of him. I'm not playing for him. And then if you get rid of Hugh and you keep the other guy.
I was reading online that what you has been doing apparently, Tom, is that in the last 2 years, and then he started doing it, he's been going over the GM's head and asking the owner to make coaching decisions, and he basically the last couple of years he's went over the GM to ask to let him call the plays himself, and this was what started this, was that Haley kind of found out about it. He was going over his head, and Dorsey did too, and everybody, it just turned into a big ball of fire. So Dorsey, was telling them that Haley's going to call the plays, and Haley wanted to call his plays again, so he just fired him. So anyway, we're going to get into that tomorrow, guys. Let's give the scores. We got to get out of here. Let's give the scores for tonight.
Sure.
Also, Terry, you give the scores tonight, and then Dennis and Tom. Tom, just stay there for a sec, please. You don't mind. You got 3 minutes. You guys talk a little about give the previews of the games the rest of the weekend, if you. So Terry, give the scores tonight, and then Tom and Dennis and Will, you can kind of give the quick previews of the other games. You got like 3 minutes, guys.
All right, it was Shelby 41, South Point 25, Burns over North Gaston 28-7, Hunter Huss 46, Ashbrook 0 is the best regular season in school history, 11-0. Stuart Kramer 45, Forest View 7, East Rutherford 48, East Gaston 7, East Rutherford 9-2 on the year. Drone 28, East Burke 17, St. Stephen's 28, Hickory 21. A big loss there for Hickory. They was looking for win number 6. They only got 5. It was Chase 43, RS Central 28, Thomas Jefferson 42, Union Academy 14. Amazing record about this. Thomas Jefferson 67 and 54 all time in football. At the last 5 years are 52 and 12. It was High Brighton 44, Patton 0, Alexander Central 56, South Caldwell 22, Watauga 62, West Caldwell 0. It was West Lincoln 65, Lake Norman Charter 7, the most wins in a season for West Lincoln of 9. Broken a lot of records this year, this squad has done. It was Fred T. Ford 41, West Iredale 14. The biggest thing with that, Fred T. Ford started 0-4 on the year. They come up to win 6 out of their last 7 games. The only loss was to High Brighton. They finished second in the conference.
Looking ahead to these games, Bessemer City and Cherryville on Monday night, I'm picking Bessemer City because I listened to the pregame show and I got all the facts.
I was about to say, I want you guys to pick these games real quick. I'm going to pick one on a different one. I was going to ask Terry for that one, but okay, Dennis, you got that. Tom. Yeah, I'm going to go Terry since, Tom, you're biased because you went to Crest. I got 3 Crest people over here. Terry, who you got? Kings Mountain, Crest, real quick.
Kings Mountain.
Wait
you got a final score?
Wait a minute.
You got a final score?
On this one?
Oh,
my. Crest has been playing better, though.
Yeah.
Tom Bandy's at North Lincoln.
Time out, Terry.
Bandy's at North Lincoln. I'm going with my friend Coach Pack. I think North Lincoln's going to win.
Will Newton Conover, Lincoln.
Newton Conover.
Terry, Lincoln at Maiden.
Maiden.
And Dennis, Mountain Island at Highland Tech.
Who cares?
Tom McDowell at Freedom.
Mountain Island.
Let's go with Freedom. I forgot. Coach Pack's at Newton Conover. Didn't I get that one wrong? I forgot about that.
There you go.
They move around too much, Terry. These coaches move around too much.
Some of them do.
All right, guys. Listen tomorrow morning, ktcbroadcasting.com. You can watch us on YouTube for the I'm gonna get it right in a minute. Campers in of Saturday Sports Talk. Myself, Terry Reinhardt, Hunter Yancey, Carson Dockery. We talk Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NASCAR, college sports, and prep previews and other more scores. But Dennis Davis, Will Boykins in here tonight. I want to thank you guys. You've been watching the Renaldo Auto Mall Show. We enjoyed our dominoes. We're full. And we've got...
Go see David at GMC.
There you go. Will Boykins, Dennis Davis, Tom Sinafani, Trent Marty came in the house, Andre Bush, who else came? Terry Reinhardt. Calvin was in the gang. I'm here. Everybody, thank you, everybody. And everyone have a good weekend and good night. We'll see you tomorrow morning on KTC Broadcasting.
In 2 weeks.
4's not going to get you into 2A, but it's going to get you in 3A.
The other night